the rise of Jamaat, in a way, is also mirroring the rise of religious fundamentalism in the country. What do you think is the secular space today in Bangladesh? How is it looking like? Is there a party or parties that are trying to strengthen the secular space in Bangladesh? What is your assessment?
Well, the secular space in Bangladesh's society and Bangladesh's within the people of Bangladesh will always be there. But whether the state of Bangladesh would have that space in future, especially after it has undergone the traumatic period of 2024 to 25, is something that we have to see. Because if a particular a political party with a specific religious agenda or a specific theological agenda comes to power, then that can impact Bangladesh's state's secular orientation. Of course, I'm sure you also observe it quite often that, every time the fundamentalists give a push, there is equal amount of counter push that comes from the seculars in Bangladesh. And,
Mm.
in Bangladesh, secular fundamentalists are quite fundamentalists. They are not like, they're not like the polite secularists that we see in India. Because, they have a history of fighting for their variety of secularism. And you saw that when these two institutions, which are actually synonymous with Bangladesh's secularism, that is Chayanot and Udichi, these two were attacked along with these two prominent newspaper offices that were burnt down. What we saw was that the day after the attack, hundreds of singers and performers who come to these two institutions to sing and dance, they actually were singing and dancing on the streets of Dhaka. Uh, it was a kind of a polite but a loud protest to the, and also the kind of a message to the fundamentalists that Bangladesh cannot be steered in one direction or the other. Because there is a great deal of possibility that the fundamentalists, or even, for example, I would say Jamaat, can commit a terrible mistake if they think that the anti-Hasina movement was basically a license to turn Bangladesh into an authoritarian Islamist state. That was not the idea, because the verdict of the people in the election is one thing, but the verdict of the people who came out and got shot to protest against a particular form of oppression was also very clear that they were not giving permission to turn their country into an Islamist theocracy. So I think Jamaat will make a mistake if it takes away that secular space and converts Bangladesh into an Islamist theocratic state. I think that is not going to be liked by the people of Bangladesh, because there is a lot of talk that there will be one more uprising if Bangladesh moves in that direction, because they don't want the revolution to be hijacked in any way or the other. They also don't want to be in this eternal mood of uprising. They don't want to burn down buildings, and they don't want to destroy this and destroy that. They want to go on with their lives. And I think that is possible only if a kind of a status quoist power comes to Dhaka and more or less reconciles all sections of people, and more or less restarts the law and order machinery so that the economic machine can again hum back to life.